and welcome to my channel. So to start this beachy look off, I already have glue down my brows. You can see on one of them the glue hasn't quite dried yet, but then I start to go in and draw the crack on my face using the Morphe Micro Brow Pencil in the shade Java, and then apply foundation to the bottom half of my face, and this is the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Hydrating Longwear Foundation in the shade 190, and the brush I'm using to apply that is the Morphe M439. I then go over that with the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Skin Perfecting Micro Powder in the shade 1 Fair, and I apply that using the Morphe N527. I use the original Hoola Benefit bronzer for contour, and to apply that I use the Morphe E4 brush. The blush I use is the MAC Dainty blush, and I use the Morphe M405 brush to apply it. I don't normally go into the base makeup, but as I've been using new stuff recently, I thought I would let you know. Let me know if you would like me to do it in every video or just now and then like I've done now. Now, getting to the creative side, I then get a brown eyeshadow and start to place it on the crack area. I don't really know how to describe this area, but you can see it in the video. It's just to create some shading, because obviously this bit is going to be further back because it's going to look like the beach is in my head. That sounds so weird. I then go back and grab my Morphe Micro Brow Pencil in the shade Java and start to sketch out the beach. Then using a white Maron face paint, I start to create some highlights around the crack. I then paint the sand using the Maron Paradise makeup in the shade Yellow. Once I've done that, I move on to the sea, and the first face paint that I use is the Snazaroo face paint in the shade Turquoise. If I painted over my eye, it will definitely crease, so what I did is prime it using the P. Louise base in the shade 0, and I then go over that with the Morphe eyeshadow called Indiglow that is in the 18A palette. And then I go back to painting the rest of the sea. For the sun, I use that yellow face paint that we used earlier, but I keep the centre slightly open and use the Snazaroo face paint in the shade Fuchsia Pink and blend it in to the rest of the sun. I also add a tiny bit of white to the outside of the sun just to give it a little bit more dimension and the sunset look. Talking of that sunset look, now it's time to create the sunset in the reflection of the water. So we use that fuchsia pink shade that we used earlier and start to blend it down my face. I also use the shade Lilac within the Snazaroo face paint, and I start to blend that on the outside as well. And I also get the blue that we used for the sea and start to blend on the outside. I hope it makes sense. It's just a lot of back and forth motion with the brush. To give the water a little bit more dimension, I go back to that white face paint that we've been using and start to create some highlighted bits on the sea. Now we're moving on to the palm trees. The first face paint I use is by Snazaroo, and it is in the shade Light Beige, and I just start to fill in the trunks of the tree. To create the lines on the trunks of palm trees that you get, I use the Snazaroo Light Brown face paint. For the leaves of the palm trees, I use the Snazaroo face paint in the shade Lime Green, and I then add some darker green to it, and this is the Snazaroo face paint in the shade Bright Green. So for the last section of this beach scene, we need to do the sky. So the first colour I use for the sky is in the Snazaroo 8 Pan face paint palette, and it is the blue in that palette. I then move on and use this Snazaroo Lilac face paint, then the fuchsia pink, and then dark orange, which is my favourite colour at the moment, definitely my favourite face paint, and I blend them all together to create that classic sunset sky. I thought the sand looked a little flat and not that textured, so I went in with an orange eyeshadow and just started to create some shading around that area as well. On my lips, I use the Luna Beauty liquid lipstick in the shade Dreamsicle. This is incredible. It smells so good, I want to eat it, and it is just the formula of Luna Beauty liquid lipsticks are just amazing. My favourite. With a black face paint and a really fine brush, I start to outline bits of the cracks and where the folds are. I hope that makes sense, but I think it just makes it stand out that little bit more. Lastly, I put on my wig and we are done. This is the final look. I am so happy with how it turned out. The only thing that is a little bit irritating is the wig kept sliding back and off of my head. I couldn't pull it forward and then put it on properly because I'd already got the paint down, and it would have interfered with it and made it go all funny. So in future, we will learn, and I'll put the wig on first. What do you think of this makeup look? Let me know in the comments down below. If you like it, press that like button because it really helps me and my channel out. And if you don't want to miss any more of my videos, hit that subscribe button. I am just trying to hit 1,000 subscribers. Can I get it? I get close and then it stops and I'm like, ooh. So help me hit 1,000 subscribers. That would honestly make my month, because January has been a bit tricky, I'm not gonna lie. If you want, you can follow me over on Instagram and TikTok. They are both at brooke.ellis_. They're linked in the description down below, along with some discount codes I have for you if you are interested. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.